All right, welcome everyone to Appium Conference. Here we are, the online edition of Appium Conference this year, 30th September 2024, and sponsored by Browser Stack, Lambda Test, Sauce Labs, and Specmatic. Thank you to these wonderful sponsors. Let's begin. And before actually talking about Appium Conference, I wanted to talk a little bit about Appium itself. And for those of you who don't know Appium, I want to really ask how many of you have not sure or heard about Appium itself, but that will be a very different question to ask. So if you're still new to Appium, just put it in the chat. It'll be interesting to see how many of you newer Appium, because Appium itself is actually quite new. And I'll touch upon a bit why, right? So Appium started way back in 2011, if I remember, when Dan was test manager at Zeus. This was, I think, 2011, when he encountered a problem of testing some iOS apps, and then he was looking at options. There was nothing there. And then I think he was working on some sort of a prototype. And in about Selenium Conference 2012, if I remember correctly, Dan was actually invited to give a talk. It was an entirely different talk, not specifically on the mobile automation that he worked on. Back then, it was not even named as Appium, if I'm correct. And he delivered the talk on the first day, and the second day on a lightning talk, he just came up and showed something, brilliant, and everyone was like awestruck, saying how you could automate your apps and test for your apps within iOS, and that was like a game-changing moment for everyone who was wanting to test iOS apps. And few years down the line, I think in about January 2013, not long ago, after a mobile testing summit happened. So Sauce Labs, thanks to Sauce Labs, they decided to back Appium, seeing its potential. They had giving a more of a developer power team led by Jonathan Lips. I think he's a current project lead as well. Decided that Appium needed a rebirth, and they rewrote the whole architecture and sort of ultimately settled in something that's based off Node.js, right? And since starting from there, fast forward to 2016, and in about late 2016, that's when Sauce Labs actually donated the Appium project to OpenJS. OpenJS, it's a foundation. It's a nonprofit organization which backs for different projects. And if you don't know, these are some of the impact projects. So you can actually see how Appium is in the likes of, or put in the likes of projects like Node.js and Webpack, which is hugely used by developer community. And that's the power of Appium we have, and it's part of the OpenJS Foundation. And it's being used by various different peoples part of the world. And again, fast forward to 2022 or 2023, and Appium 2 was officially released. As they say, it's an infinitely extensible ecosystem for automation. It helps you add specific tests, bring in the plugin ecosystem, all of very different things, which makes really, really groundbreaking stuff within Appium community itself. So if I remember how I started Appium setup, back then I used to blog at a website called Assert Selenium, where the blog itself was like 2 or 3 blog about setting up the Appium itself. But now fast forward to 2023, now if you see Appium 2, the plugin ecosystem is so simple. From the words of the man himself, Jonathan Lips, as you see, Appium 2, we wanted testers to be able to reach for a single tool to accomplish all their automation tasks across multiple platforms. So that's interesting, right? So true to his words, you can actually see how people are leveraging Appium 2 ecosystem, and I can actually see people like Sai Krishna, who's been contributing to Appium, started something called Appium Device Form, which was earlier available as a different setup, and now with the plugin ecosystem, it's much easier. And from Headspin, again led by Jonathan Lips, that is something you could use Appium with Alt Unity plugin, which is again a great plugin to automate any game stuff. And Appium Dashboard, like if you're running quite a few mobile tests, and if you need wanting to really want that dashboard, like if I this is something relating to me when Diego and Leo from Zalando at that time, they started Selenium project where it had a Selenium grid with neat dashboard and everything. So I think that reminds me of what Sudarshan has developed Appium plugin that provides complete test logs and video recording of tests in conjunction with device form. I think that's how it works. So I would actually call this as a rebirth of the community itself, like Appium 2.0 community, right? So it's community 2.0. That's how I see. And thanks to Jonathan, thanks to all the Appium committers who have been developing this project for us. so that we are here, right? So now that Appium 2 is released with all the potentials that you see here, when else could be a better time to have the Appium conference? So I welcome you all to have a great time here at Appium Conference. Before I let you enjoy, there are a couple of things I want to cover from the platform itself. So we are using Conf Engine, and if you're wondering which session you want to join, so hop onto Conf Engine. On the left side, you see a live stream, and you can. It's just a matter of clicking a simple button called Join out there if you want to join. So next up, we have Anne-Marie giving a keynote on sandworms. The lessons from the Dune of software testing, and followed by wonderful sessions by our fellow community folks. And this is very important. After you attend the session, please don't forget to rate the session. Please do rate, and this is very important. This will help us understand what sort of sessions you like, and it also goes in as a feedback to the speaker itself so that they know what you like and what you didn't like about the session, and it'll really help. And we have about 34 speakers from across 12 countries. There you go. It's such a diverse community of speakers. I'm very happy to see such a mix of people from different parts of the world. And you can also, it's an online platform. Yeah, I do miss the hallway track conversations, but I think the online platform that we're using, Confengine, really, is helping us not miss that option of having that hallway track conversation. Instead, it's something called Hangout that you could use on the Conf Engine. If you see on the left-hand side, you have Hangout. So when you click on it, you actually see the screen that you see. This is nothing but a speaker. So right after a session is done, the speaker will be available within a table. So you can join and have any conversations about, hey, you spoke about something, I need more questions. So you can have that sort of conversations, which you normally have in a hallway track conversations in a conference. So you could have it here as well. So thanks to Conf Engine team again. It's a really cool feature. And speaking of diverse community and wonderful audience, we have attendees from over 37 countries. You can see different parts of the world joining in and celebrating Appium 2 and mobile ecosystem itself. And more than just speakers, of course, you also wanted to connect with fellow people attending the conference. So that's where you could reach out, click on attendees, and then you can actually see what sort of profiles people have joined the conference. And then you can actually able to find that person and have a chat with them to see, hey, no, it'll be nice to understand what you're working on, or have that conversation, or maybe if it's a job post you have seen that the company have advertised and you want to have a conversation with them, understanding a bit more about it, even if they may not be, they'll be able to add 1 or 2 cents about it. So that's a really cool feature. And again, this is my favorite part. Thanks to Naresh for bringing it up when I saw first in Selenium Conf 2014, where he that's the first time when I realized, okay, there is something called law of 2 feet, where if at any time you find yourself neither contributing or not learning, use your 2 feet to go somewhere else. If in a real life conference, yeah, please move to the other room is the meaning. But here you could, safely close the window and join some other session where you find something more interesting. And wanted to thank the sponsors again. Thank you, title sponsors and platinum sponsors. We have BrowserStack, we have Lambda Test, Source Labs, and Specmatic. These guys have been sponsoring all the community projects, and huge thanks to them. BrowserStack, they're running some campaign. You could go and check out sponsors page for BrowserStack. They have various different solutions to help solve day-to-day problems and help you deliver quality products. Followed by Lambda Test. They're giving away some cool swags as usual. Been there, done that. So they are finding out some 3 lucky winners, providing some community free access to Appium Conf members, and yeah, can win some more cool swags. And followed by Swas Labs again. They are happy to give some free starting minutes that you can go up and sign up. You can visit your sponsors page, Swas Labs. And Specmatic, and wow, that's huge. I really like it. And oh, submission is deadline is 12 noon today. All right, I'll see what I can do, but in 2 hours maybe. But if you're already someone who known about this competition and you have delivered, fingers crossed and congratulations. More than just a competition, you learned something for yourself. And thanks to Smartmatic for being so generous and giving away those MacBooks, VR headsets, all the headphones. Thank you, Specmatic, again. And yeah, this is most important again, right? So thanks to the program committee. If you really like the program, and that's why you would have firstly bought in a ticket to attend this program. So thank you so much for registering for the conference. And These are some of the people that you should thank for bringing such a program in front of us. Thanks to all the program committee members and also the volunteers. Again, today we wanted this program to go smooth, and thanks to these volunteers for helping us run this program as smooth as possible. And all the cool convention features that we talked about, it would have not happened without these folks. Thank you, Naresh, John, Jaideep, and Rashi for helping us run this Appium conference on such a beautiful platform. Thank you so much. I guess that's pretty much from my side. I hope that really gave you some insights about what Appium Conf is and why we are here to celebrate Appium 2 community. With that, further ado, I'll let you all enjoy the conference and welcome once again.